this is a personal message, which might be a little bit triggering for some people who unfortunately lost relatives during the whole COVID scandemic. It's about what happened to me in hospital during that period. I was a bus driver back in, I think it was 2021. I've got the date somewhere, but 2021 October. I know it was October because it was Halloween, coming up to Halloween. So I became very ill. So I called an ambulance, and they came. They took me into hospital. I was struggling to breathe and all the rest of it. So they put me on an oxygen mask, and eventually wheeled me into. I think it was A&E to start with. Yeah, I think it was A&E. And then they quickly transferred me into, well, they were trying to get these cannulas in me. And it took the nurse about, I don't know, 5 times to find a vein. Meanwhile, they buggered up all my nerves. Anyway, by the by. I think then I was transferred into ICU, where I was treated incredibly well. I mean, these people were, these doctors, these nurses were stunningly good. They're really, really good. And they knew what they were doing. Anyway, after that, I was sent for an assessment. As I'm in this full face oxygen mask thing now, which is pumping pure oxygen in, and it's just helping me to breathe. So they wheeled me to another part of the hospital, and then to say the energy was different is, I likened it to entering another world. Talk about dark energy, and I'm not just talking about the lighting that wasn't as light. No, this was a proper dark energy. It was like something wasn't right in this part of the building. So we went through these, and I noticed it as soon as we went through these double doors. It felt cold, and it was like a. Ugh. Anyway, it wheeled me into this room and put me onto this bed. And then all of a sudden I noticed the oxygen mask wasn't quite working as it was before. So I said to him, there's something wrong with the oxygen mask. It's putting oxygen in when I'm breathing out. And when I'm breathing in, there is no oxygen. And they just started gaslighting me. Oh, you've got to calm down. You've got to calm your breathing down. And I was like, no, you're not listening to me. And I explained it again. But they weren't having it. They were just, again, the people were a nurse in a white coat, or it might have been a doctor actually. There was 2 nurses, 2 young nurses, a doctor in a white coat, and this really evil character that was, I can only describe him as Mr. Burns' character out of The Simpsons. He was absolutely, there was something wrong with him. He was a wrong, absolute wrong, and a demon. He almost looked like a demon, but he was a wrong one anyway. But anyway, so what had happened was the oxygen mask wasn't working properly as it was before. But they were gaslighting me. And then I realised, as soon as they said, you've got to calm your breathing down, otherwise we'll have to put you on a ventilator. And at that moment I knew they'd altered the mask and they were gaslighting me. So I said, you've altered the mask, turn it back to how it was. And again, they repeated, you got to calm you. They're trying to tell me that I'm going nuts. No, I'm telling you that you've altered the mask. Anyway, I insisted again. You're not putting me on it, and this time I said, you're not putting me on a ventilator. Put that mask, whatever you've done to that mask, put it back to the oxygen, put it back to how it was. And with that, the Mr. Burns character scuttled off, looking back with this evil grin on his face. And lo and behold, then the other one, the doctor in the white coat, female, had done something with the machine, and lo and behold, the oxygen had returned to, when I was breathing in, I got oxygen. When I was breathing out, I wasn't. So it went back to normal. Anyway, they left me alone. They all scuttled off. And these two nurses that were with them, these two young nurses, they kept coming by and looking in the little porthole window in the door and giggling. And I'm like, there's something not right here. There's something evil at work. So, and after that, it was like they wheeled me back to ICU, which is intensive care unit, where I was taken care of like proper, and very good people. The world, two different worlds, completely. Yeah, this lot evil trying to murder you. I'll put it that strongly because that's exactly what they were trying to do. They wanted to get me on a ventilator. And now, I didn't know that at the time because no one knew what they were doing with the people on the ventilators. And I know it's upsetting if people have lost relatives through that. Completely understand, but I'm just telling you how it went for me. And luckily, I was strong enough to say, I just knew something. So something was telling me that no, you're not doing that. So, yeah, I know my heart goes out to those people that lost relatives to these demons that murdered them, basically. So anyway, back in ICU, and then I went they got me on the road to recovery. They put me in a ward and started recovering. But I was so traumatised by what had happened because I started thinking about it. I was thinking, they were gaslighting me. Why would they gaslight me? Still not twigged at the minute that they'd actually tried to murder me. It still hadn't dawned on me then because I didn't know. All I knew is they were gaslighting me to put me on a ventilator. So, I started recovering. I got myself better, and there was that night in hospital when I was first put on the ward. I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown, having just been through all that, and it was like, you know what? I'm just letting go. I'm letting go of the fear of death. I've just been to the brink of something, and I'm just letting go now. So I laid back in bed, and I said, right, I just hand everything over, and I just let go. Let go completely of the fear of dying. If I died, I died. If I didn't, I didn't. And I just let go. And I fell asleep, and I tell you what, I woke up, I had a wonderful night's sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and it was like an anchor that I'd been towing round for all my life had been lifted off my back. And it was amazing. It was an absolutely amazing feeling. I felt 10 tons lighter. and wow, incredibly powerful moment. So then I started getting, anyway, I got progressively better, and I got better, and I spent I think it was about a week. After a week, I was back on my feet, and I left hospital, went back home. And that's where the really weird stuff started happening. I was lying there in bed one morning, and for some reason, the telly in my room was on. And that never happens. But all of a sudden, the TV was on, and I was like, hey, why is the TV on? I'd just woken up. Anyway, it was on, and I was noticing it, and it was because I don't watch TV, see? So it was a breakfast programme, I think, ITV or something or other. And so I was just concentrating on it, and then all of a sudden, I knew exactly what they were going to say, and I knew exactly what they were going to do. And lo and behold, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do and say. And I just laughed it off. I just thought, deja vu. And just laughed it off. Didn't think much of it then. No, I think this is the start of something that was a little bit, there was something else at play here. So then all of a sudden these synchronicities started coming. I had a friend who came round. Now, I'd never read a book in my life. Yeah? And yet, she left a book that's on my table that's about this big. It's like a kind of, you could say it's conspiracy theorist, but it's not. It's full of facts and truths and all the rest of it. Mainstream people would say, it's conspiracies, it's all conspiracy theories. Well, no, it's conspiracy facts is what it actually is. Anyway, so I never read a book in my life, but that was there. And it stayed there for about, 2 weeks. And then one day I just picked it up and thought, I opened the page, and it was on, I'm not kidding, it's this thick. And I started reading. I just read this page, and that was it. I didn't put it down for a week, and I read the whole lot. I think about a week and a half it took me to read the whole lot. And it was mind-blowing. And I know it's all part of the synchronicity, so it led me to explore other things. So then I started reading other things. I haven't stopped. I didn't stop for however long, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years now. So just constantly reading. And then there's other weird stuff that came along. I was reading a Seth book. I was sat outside, a lovely day and all the rest of it. I was so chilled, just reading this Seth book. And I felt, all of a sudden, I felt connected to everything. The plants, the birds, the wind, smells, everything. Absolutely connected. Completely at one with everything. And then all of a sudden, a butterfly landed on my arm. And I've got it landed on the book. I've got the page over, and this butterfly sitting on the book. And I'm like, oh, hello. And then all of a sudden I says, well, I've got to turn the page now. Do you mind getting on my arm so I can turn the page? And it literally walked off the book and onto my arm. So I turned the page, it just stayed there. And I thought, well, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Anyway, I carried on reading and everything, and I think someone came along and it flew off. So, and then a little bit later on in the day, same day, a bit later on, about, 25, 30 minutes later, I'm still sat there reading the book. It was either the same butterfly came again or a different one and did exactly the same. It landed on the book, and then I said, do you mind? I need to turn the page again. Do you mind getting on my arm? And it walked off again. It didn't fly, it just walked off. Crawled off onto my arm. And I turned the page. And it sat on my arm again. For ages. Now that's twice. And I'm thinking, either the matrix is glitching here, or I've done something, and I think what might have happened was, and it's only my personal opinion, when I'd had the deja vu experience of through the TV, the breakfast program, knowing what they were going to say and do, I think maybe somehow I've jumped onto a different timeline. So I've left that old timeline behind and moved on to something else, on another mission, so to speak. Because all of a sudden I had this really strong urge to help humanity with this period that we're going through, that it's going through. So, and there was, it seems weird that a lot of people go, oh yeah, nutcase. Well, I don't give a monkey's what you think. All I know is, I know this is all. I just need to share it with somebody anyway. I don't care if you believe it or not. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. But this is the interesting part. I had a friend, the same friend who gave me the book, and we went to this meeting. And we came back, and I've been having these strange downloads where I wake up in the night and I jot down something, and it's very prevalent for what's going on in the world, shall we say. But anyway, me and this friend go to this meeting, and we come back, and she comes in and she sits down, and then I'm sitting on the other side of the room, and we're having a discussion about something, and then this voice right here didn't say anything. It was a thought in a voice form, and it was so loud, it was so profound that it was like someone just standing here talking to me, and it said, "This is how the universe works." And I just went, okay. And my friend, who was sitting over the other side of the room, started coming out with all this stuff. Very, very profound stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And it's stuff that she would never, ever have come out with. So, and I'm listening to it and I'm going, because I've been reading other stuff and I've been going, oh, and I'm in touch with consciousness and I'm going, oh. And this is her talking to me with all this stuff. So I don't know what was going on there, but all of a sudden this voice had said, this is how the universe works. Maybe it was talking through her. Who knows? But anyway, after, I've been, I've spent a long time doing automatic writing kind of thing, and doing little bits here and there. Then all of a sudden I come to the realisation that all of a sudden I've got a purpose in life. Whereas before I've gone through life just surfing, doing what I wanted, travelling, blah, 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 no real commitments to anything, not really feeling like I'm here. I belong here. And then all of a sudden this happens. And like I said, maybe I've jumped onto another timeline and I've been presented with this or charged with this mission or purpose or whatever. I don't know. All I know is I just go with it. I go with synchronicities and the flow of things. And what it truly is, I'm not following this anymore, because if you remember back in the hospital, all the fear came from here. The dying process, the fear of dying, the fear of, all that rubbish. So then, what I did was I let it all go, came and started living here. And when you live in your heart, you live in love, and there's nothing that can touch it. So, oh yeah, one other thing. Amazing experience, this one, and I to this day I could not tell you, I couldn't describe this love, and it was a fraction. I was just sitting there, I think I was writing something, and then I had this amazing feeling, but all of a sudden I got this, like a lightning bolt through the heart. It's all I can explain it as, but it was a lightning bolt of love. And that thought thing, the voice, the thought voice, it said, this is only a fraction because your system could not handle any more. So I think what it was I don't know, but it was pure love, and it just made me bawl my eyes out. So yeah, that was incredible. I mean, if that's the fraction, then oh my God, wow. So yeah, that's just another weird thing to add to the weird things. Oh, wonderful, absolutely wonderful, all of it. So yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. The whole hospital thing, I understand. My heart goes out to the people who lost loved ones. Well, we're infinite consciousness anyway, so we're not just this body. We're infinite consciousness, comes through the heart. So live in your heart, and you'll live in happiness and love and joy. And those frequencies are up here, and you can't touch those ones. These idiots down here, they won't be able to touch these ones. You can't affect that. So live in your heart, not in your head. The head is the ego. It's the matrix mind. It's the one that's controlling your world. You live in your heart, you control your world. So, just thought I'd do that one, a very quick one. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.